Good morning. Welcome to the August AEE webinar. We've got quite a program set up for everyone this morning. We appreciate everyone there joining us. And today we've got a few updates that we're going to be sharing with you. The agenda has got me doing the welcome, and that's where we are right now. Very briefly, we've put together a few changes to our webinar. This is a program in motion, and we'll be making changes from time to time. The first change starts this morning. With the webinar had been running 60 minutes, we're going to start shooting for a 30-minute webinar, a little more focus and a little bit less time involved in that webinar. We're also going to be sending out invitations on the most current list of AEE chapter officers. And that list will be updated on a monthly basis based on your input. So if you provide updates and input, then we'll make sure that we get the right people the invitations. But it's up to you to help us with that. The third point is we're going to start sending out webinar notifications. We've been sending them out a week in advance, a day in advance, and an hour in advance. But we're going to add to that and try to send out some webinar notifications as far ahead as 3 weeks in advance and 2 weeks in advance. That way you can do a little bit better planning for your time and schedules, and make sure that that you're all ready for the webinars when they come, and have the opportunity to go ahead and get signed up. I'm going to go ahead now, and we've got a great program about WEC this morning, and I'm going to go ahead and shift over to Sharon Houston, and she's going to take over and lead at this point. Sharon?
Okay, hello everyone. Okay, I'm just going to show my screen. Can we all see that?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so I have a few people joining me today, so I'll just go briefly through who is here. Unfortunately, Mr. Bill Kent is not here. He is currently traveling, so he will not be giving any input today. We do have Ruth Whitlock joining us, and she'll be giving you information on various parts of WEC. And Michelle is also online. And then we have Danielle with us. Connie, unfortunately, is not here, but I do have some information regarding WEC registration from Connie. I am here, and Cheyenne Kimbrell is here. So first of all, welcome Cheyenne. Cheyenne is new to AEE, and this will be her first webinar with us. So Cheyenne is our conference speakers director and knows a lot about what is happening at WEC. So she will also be contributing today. So as we move into our agenda for WEC, basically we want you guys to this is what WEC is. Most of you already know that, but this could kind of give you an overview of what to expect this year. So I'm going to hand over to Ruth, who's going to give you some information on international attendees, followed by the executive committee meeting, the chapter leadership meeting, and regional awards. So over to you, Ruth.
Thank you, and good morning, everybody, and we thank you so much for being here. Just to mention, this is the 41st WEEC that AEE has presented. First, I want to talk about the international attendees. Those who've been to a WEEC in the past few years know that we have a significant number of attendees from overseas. AEE has a modest fund set up, and with the generous help of our chapters, we've been able to bring over representatives of some of our chapters around the world. They will be arriving on Monday, and you'll see them the whole week, taking advantage of every possible opportunity to meet people from other chapters. Some have been here before, others may be on their very first trip to the U.S. We want you to know how much we appreciate how welcome you've always made them feel. And we know this is going to be another great experience for them, and we hope for you. Okay, moving on to the events of Tuesday. Tuesday is a very busy day. We kick off that morning at 10 o'clock with the executive committee meeting, and you're cordially invited to attend. The part of the agenda you'll be most interested in will be the reports of our chapters that will be presented by our regional vice presidents in the U.S. and our assistant directors outside the U.S. This is an opportunity for you to hear about what other chapters are doing. Immediately following this at noon, after we have some lunch, of course, will be the chapter leadership meeting, where items of interest to chapters will be discussed. Then a panel will lead a forum where you can have the chance to ask questions and make comments. And of course, this is a venue where we present the annual Chapter Recognition Awards for the outstanding work our chapters do all year. Please bring as many of your chapter officers and members as you like. All are welcome. If you know ahead of time who will be coming, it'd be helpful information for us to have. But even if someone decides on site to come, they will be more than welcome. Then we move on to the regional awards. That is in the room next door to where we've been earlier in the day. They'll be presented at 3 o'clock. And we really hope you'll be there to support your peers and hear about the good work that earned them these awards. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to move on to Michelle, who's going to tell us about our Legends in Energy event this year.
Okay, so Legends in Energy, you see last year the pictures from the aquarium here in Atlanta. That was fun. This year is a brand new. If you're a seasoned veteran to Legends, you know we do a boat a lot when we're in DC. So this year in Charlotte, we're going to be at the NASCAR Hall of Fame, which is connected to the convention center, so it's really convenient. We have a featured guest there, which is Casey Kane, who is a race car driver for NASCAR. He's going to be there doing a meet and greet, you know, getting pictures. He'll sign things. It's going to be really fun. And then there's the opportunity while you're there to do driving simulators. So you'll get in a race car, not an actual race car, but it's a computer system. It'll take you around the track. You'll feel like you're driving. The car moves, things like that. And then there's a lot of interactive telephones and TVs and movies all throughout the Hall of Fame. And then in conjunction with that, we'll have the Legends in Energy inductees. We'll be able to get their certificates. We have a dinner. It's a small plate kind of buffet style dinner. And we also have live music. So it's a good event. You should all come. And if you need any information on that, you can email Connie for questions or to register and pay.
Thank you, Michelle.
It's Lori. Can I ask a quick question?
Go ahead.
Is the simulated driving competitive? Like, will it actually keep our score and we can see who's the best driver?
Yes. So the driving simulator will record everyone. So when you check in, you'll get a little kind of like a VIP card, like a Dave & Buster's card that kind of keeps points on it and stuff. So it will record your time. If you had any accidents or anything like that, it'll record like how fast you can change a tire. There's several little games that go with it. And then at the end of the event, all of that is kind of sponsored by Worthington Energy Innovations. And so at the end of the event, they're going to give out little trophies to people who won all of the races or all of the contests. So yes, that is an added bonus.
All right, I'm going to Dave & Buster. I'm going to be practicing.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Okay, now I'm going to hand over to Cheyenne, who's going to tell you a little bit about our opening session speakers.
Okay, so our first speaker is going to be Bill. He will be opening up the event, giving a welcome from AEE, and then he will hand it over to Lynn Good, the CEO of Duke Energy. She'll be speaking on building a smarter energy future. And then after that, we'll change over to Felipe Calderon, the former president of Mexico, and he will be talking about the economic opportunities of the energy transition. And then after that, it's going to be Cheryl Connolly with Ford Motor Company, and she will be speaking on confessions of a corporate futurist and coming trends that will revolutionize your business. And then our last speaker is Captain Scott Kelly. He is a U.S. astronaut and retired U.S. Navy captain. He'll be talking about lessons from a year in space and the time that he spent in space. So it's really going to be an exciting opening session, and we invite everyone to attend. The band, we'll have a band and color guard that will also be playing from 8 to 9, so you can get there early to hear the band.
Thank you, Cheyenne. Now we're back to Michelle. Could you please tell us a little about the expo?
Yes, so the expo at WC, there's so many other events going on. If you're there for the conference or for, the chapter meetings, Legends, banquet. So if you can get down to the expo, and I think last year we timed it, and just one of our staff timed it, and it took 30 minutes to walk all the aisles and talk to 5 booths. So those are very quick conversations. So you can do it in 30 minutes, but you really need 1 to 2 hours to kind of get through it and probably talk to everybody that you want to see there. We're close to 300 booths this year. I think they're trying to even expand on that. So if you know anybody interested in exhibiting or know of any companies that would be a good fit, you can send those to Ashley Clark. And also in the expo hall, that's where our conference attendee luncheon is held in the back of the hall. We have poster sessions that are free. We have exhibit hall presentations that are free. So if you are just coming for meetings and you're not coming to the conference, feel free to stay over on Wednesday and take advantage of all the free stuff going on in the hall as well. I guess I should mention the AEE booth since it's on our PowerPoint. We always have a booth set up in the back of the expo hall. Several of our staff will be there. Bill Kent, our executive director, will hang out there a lot. You can come there and ask questions, get brochures, meet our staff. If you need a staff member and you can't find them, then usually going to the booth and asking whoever is there, they can usually track us down. So that's a good location as well.
Okay, and Danielle is here also. Danielle is going to just add 1 or 2 things about the AEE booth. Go ahead.
We always are off doing promotional discounts for anybody that's not an AEE member that would like to join. We offer, it's a 50% discount on their first year of membership. And if they join at the conference, we have this awesome spin wheel of prizes that we will have that once they join, they can spin and get an awesome prize of, we haven't got the whole list of things, but we do have things like our books, our energy books, discounts on upcoming conferences, awesome little AEE handouts. So if you know anybody that would like to be interested in joining membership, they can always come see me at the booth, and I will answer their questions and help them get joined.
Thank you. Okay, so for the student luncheon, that will happen on Wednesday between 12 and 1:30. This is just the second year to have the student luncheon, and it will also be the first time that we'll be presenting some student chapter awards. There will be a variety of speakers with lots of information for our students on student chapters, scholarships, and AEE in general. So if you do have any students attending, please encourage them to attend the student luncheon because I think it will be very informational for them. And now we're going to hand back to Ruth.
Yeah, to talk about the banquet. Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock, a reception will be held in the foyer of the Crown Ballroom. And at 7 o'clock, we'll move into the ballroom for the AEE Awards banquet. Our 2019 officers will be inducted, and then the international awards will be presented. Entertainment will follow.
Okay, and Cheyenne's just going to add a word about our entertainment this year.
So our entertainment is Jeff Silvico. He is a Las Vegas headliner, a TV host, personality, and a philanthropist. So he has a really exciting act to perform for everyone. We are really excited to have him and kind of see what he has to show us. One quick thing, right before the banquet starts, usually about 6:45 out during the reception, we will be inducting 2 new members into the AEE Fellow Program this year.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to hand over to Laurie. If you would please give us some information on the SeaWorld breakfast and the SeaWorld reception.
Yep. So SeaWheels, the Council for Women in Energy and Environmental Leadership, And we are always pleased to host 2 events at WEEC. The first one, and I want to highlight that we actually have 3 sponsors that are very committed to supporting women in our industry. One is our sponsor, Duke Energy. But then for these 2 specific events, we have Frontier Energy that is sponsoring our Seawheel Breakfast. That's Thursday morning from 7:30 to 9. It's free to any WEEC registrant. And the speaker, we always have great speakers at these events, and this time is no exception. We've got Catherine Hammock, who is Executive Director for Government and Public Sector for Ernst & Young, who will be speaking on gender diversity in the workplace, an important topic for all of us. So happy to announce that. And then that same day in the afternoon from 4 to 6, we have a reception, cocktails, soft drinks, actually some pretty good food there too. And that's from 4 to 6 p.m. It's free to members of Seawheel. It's $30 per person for others, but I would say that the Seawheel membership is $30. So, you know, what happens is you get basically a year of free Seawheel membership when you participate in signing up for the reception. And it's a very mixed reception, lots of guys and women there together, just really helping to support. We do provide scholarships to women in AEE, and to both on an international and national basis. And so part of the funding comes from our Seawheel reception. We also will participate in the chapter leadership meeting. We'll talk about the chapter liaisons and the mentor program. And also, we will offer new members of Seawheel 50% off Seawheel membership. So similar to the 50% off membership that AEE offers for new members, we do the same thing for Seawheel. So these are great events. Encourage everyone to come out and participate in them. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurie. Michelle, I'm going to hand over to you to speak about the chapter luncheon, please.
Okay, so the chapter luncheon is Thursday from 12 to 1:30, and it is put on this year by 2 chapters, the AEE North Carolina chapter and the Piedmont chapter. So we have a featured speaker there. His name is Paul Kamudi. He's a senior VP and Chief Technology Officer at Ingersoll Rand. Speaking about, it's not about the motor, a systems approach to energy efficiency. So before Paul speaks, they will have generally an update from both chapters. Our executive director will give, say a few words, and then there will be lunch there as well. So if you are going to go to that, you can register online on our system. But if you have a Thursday lunch ticket, you can get into either the Expo Hall lunch or the Thursday chapter lunch. And then we also will take registrations at the door for that event as well.
Thank you. Okay, so Cheyenne, if you would please tell us a little about the keynote luncheon.
So the keynote luncheon will be Friday from 11:15 to 1. We have 2 keynote speakers. First, we'll have Frank Yuhu with Duke Energy. He's the EVP and president of the natural gas. So he will be speaking first, and then we'll have Rosa Sands, the chief operating officer for Nature, and they will be speaking on a brief history of the relationship between natural gas and electricity. So this is also included in your 3-day conference registration, and it should be a good 2 good speakers there.
Thank you, Cheyenne. And now we're going to pass back over to Ruth, who will talk to us a little about the Hall of Fame inductees and then any information you might need regarding hotels.
Yes. As you probably know, the induction of the year's Energy Managers Hall of Fame members takes place at Friday's keynote luncheon. Although we've not yet made a public announcement of the 2018 winners, we like to do that a little closer to the date. Our chapters were sent a notification recently of the two individuals selected this year. They are Dr. Robert Amundsen and Russell Kohler. We hope you'll be there to congratulate them on this lifetime achievement honor. And moving on to hotels, unfortunately, we do need to alert you that if you've received emails or phone calls from people pretending to be from AEE and wanting you to make their reservations, your reservations through them, don't be fooled, and definitely don't give them your credit card information. These are scammers who prey on conference and expo attendees. To be safe, go to the hotel's webpage on the WEE's website, energycongress.com, and it'll provide information on each hotel with a link to reservations. And if you haven't made your hotel reservation yet, we urge you to do so as quickly as possible. Some of the hotels are already selling out, and you want to be able to take advantage of the special rates we've negotiated. Thank you.
I'm not sure if we can hear Connie right now. We seem to have lost the audio from AEE.
Sorry, Bob, that was my mistake. I'm here. I'm speaking on behalf of Connie. Connie cannot join us today, so I have the information. So registration, you can see the website up on screen. You may go there to register, and that is available online up until the end of the day on October 5th. After October 5th, we'll no longer be able to register online. Now, you may contact Connie directly, and I will give you her information in just a moment, up until the 11th of October. Then you also have the option to register on-site at the conference. So if you do have any questions or you want to register after the 5th of October, you can contact Connie at connie@aeecenter.org, or her telephone number is 770-447-5083, extension 226. And again, 770-447-5083, extension 226, and that will get you to Connie. So that concludes our presentation about WEEC, but we hope that's given you plenty to think about. And if you haven't decided yet to attend, maybe now you will. We hope we've sold it to you. But just to conclude the presentation I have for you here, this is just a reminder, and this goes back to what Bob said earlier. As we pull the invitation list for these webinars, we will be updating that list monthly. So please make sure that everything that we have on the AEE website is up to date and accurate. So if anything changes, please let us know. You can send those changes to Danielle at aeecenter.org, and we will make sure that they get changed in all the correct places. And finally, this is just a reminder of probably the key events for the chapters. So we have the executive committee meeting, the chapter leadership meeting, the regional awards presentation, and then the student networking luncheon. So those are probably the key ones for you guys. But thank you. That brings us to a close on our WEEC, and I'm going to pass it back over to Bob. Bob, I'm just going to switch the presenter back to you right now.
All right. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate all the good information that we've received. A lot of good details. We wanted to get this information out. Some of you are very familiar with these details. Some of you may not be quite as familiar. So this webinar has given us an opportunity to provide you an in-depth view of the WEEC meeting. And hopefully, as Sharon has said, and giving you a taste for wanting to participate and attend. I'll be there. Everyone that's spoken so far will be there, and we're looking forward to you being there as well. So as we move forward, like I said, we've had a lot of good information here today. In the next meeting in September, the fourth Thursday at 10 o'clock Central Time, as we always have these webinars, we'll be talking about support available from AEE headquarters. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to reach out to the regional vice presidents and ask them to provide us the type of questions that generally we receive at AEE. As a AEE member, as an AEE vice president, a president, a regional vice president, and now leading the webinars, I've had a lot of questions over the years, and I've reached out. Some of them, as a regional vice president, were repetitive questions, so I was able to answer those. Those that I didn't know how to answer, I reached out to AEE to provide that information. So we're going to try to collect up some questions. This is going to be an important webinar for you, the attendees, because you'll be interactively asking us questions, hopefully, as we go through. I've been watching this morning, and I haven't seen any questions come through. But we'll be doing that in September. Then in October, it'll be just about time to submit nominations there in November for the International Award and awards that are given out. And we're going to have the gentleman that leads that effort talk to us a little bit about that and give some clues and some information out about it. As a regional vice president, I have had the opportunity to review those award nominations, and it's always difficult to make the final selections because there's a lot of great competition that goes on out there. So those are the things that are coming up, the things that we'll be having here in the near future. I'd like for you to send us your ideas, your topics, questions that maybe you would like to have, and help us figure out what you want to know about. The whole purpose of these webinars is to provide information that is valuable and helpful to each of you. I would like to say, as we conclude our webinar this morning, that today was our largest attendance that we've had on record, and we're looking forward to continuing to increase that attendance. Thank you very much for your time, for your efforts, and for your participation, and for each of those who presented today, a very special thank you to each and every one of you. This concludes our webinar for today. Tune in next month to get more information about your questions for AEE headquarters. Thank you very much.